Brilliant. So the next two modules are based on one of the foundational ideas of this field called NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, which is having one option is being stuck, having two options is having choice, and having three options is having freedom. So I'm going to tell you two things. One is treating people equally, and a continuation to this, which is the next module, it's going to be called treating people differently. So sometimes, I tell people, treat people differently. You can't treat everybody the same way. And they say, oh, great, that's an idea. But if you just hang on to that idea and get stuck in it, then you're going to be stuck. So each idea is valuable if you're able to use it when you have to, and if you're able to step out of it when you have to, and perhaps use something altogether when you have to. The moment you pick one idea, you get stuck with it. So the first idea is about treating people equally, and what this means is all other things being the same, there's never a need to treat people differently. When I say differently, there's never a need to give somebody more importance than somebody else for no reason at all. There's never a need to give somebody less importance than somebody else for no reason at all, okay? For example, if there's a client who's in recent times lost trust in you for some reason, or your team for some reason, there might be a need then for you to go and talk to the client, be nice to that client, and get that client on board. But otherwise, we're talking about building and leading a great team. You would deal with every member of this team equally. Some of the worst things to do, just as an example, if you invite everybody in this team for a meeting except 2 or 3 people, it's important to explain to those people why they're not part of that meeting, and perhaps tell them that they aren't required and that's why they're not invited, so that they're in the know. You wouldn't want people sitting there feeling like outcasts, feeling that they're left out, feeling that they're not included. That's just one example of treating people equally. The other things are, for example, let's talk about deadlines, a popular area of controversy in organizations, where you have a fixed deadline, and maybe for some reason you couldn't meet the deadline. If you've been okay with that with employee A, it's important for you to be okay with that with employee B, C, D, E, and F. If you don't do this, this is not treating people equally. So as far as parameters are concerned, as far as promotions are concerned, as far as working with people effectively are concerned, it's important to treat people equally. And as I mentioned earlier, treating people equally is one approach. There might be instances where you might want to treat people differently, and I'm going to tell you what they are. Before that, let me just say a quick word about what could happen if you just pick one idea and stick with it. All the things that we covered in these modules are different ideas. It would do you good to be able to know all of them and pick the one that's most useful, almost like picking tools from a bag of tools and using them at the right moment. Because if you just do one thing, you're going to be stuck. And there's an article that I wrote some time back called the South Indian Monkey Trap. So what happens is there's a coconut with a small hole in it and with some rice tied up to a tree. The South Indian monkey, which is called the rhesus monkey, it comes there and it puts its hand into the coconut and holds on to the rice and can't get its hand out because the fist has become bigger. And the hole's made very meticulously, just enough space for the monkey to squeeze its hand in. Now, all the monkey has to do is leave that rice, let go of the rice, and it would be able to pull its hand out. But it doesn't think of that, and it just stands there stuck because it doesn't want to give away something, and that's what happens. And the human beings go and catch the monkey and put them in cages and so on. So in this case, if you just say, I'm going to only treat people equally each and every time, and that's my only strategy, you're going to be stuck like the South Indian monkey trap. I'm going to tell you soon how to do it differently.